honor to talk about Miracle Man.
Full house today.
That's right, the Junior
Garth
Mints
Ennis,
are with
how's it going, Mr. Ennis?
It is going good, Omar.
New York
Hello to
Comic
you.
Con. This is the day we suit up. What's up, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And I don't have any breaking news, no omnibus overview, no epic announcements, no DC catalog. I'm just here to do a retrospect on my second year as a full-time YouTuber. I did one for year one, and you can click the link above if you want to check that out. But I wanted to talk about year two and what changed and what threw me for curveballs, or what curveballs were thrown at me, rather. So I got my buddy Andrew helping me out again, and he's going to be firing some questions. I'm not prepared for this, so it's just kind of a behind the scenes on how I handle being a YouTuber for a living. And this is year two, and we all know Batman year two is the superior year, so I guess it all gets better from here. All right, let's go ahead and start.
Start by telling us, what is your daily work routine like?
Well, when the kids are in school, I drop them off at school. So I get up at 6:30, take the kids, drop them off at school, come back home. I read, I shoot videos, I edit videos, I take a lunch, I go for a walk, I take my dog out because I need to be outside. When it's really cold, I don't get that, so I have to stay in here and do a little bit of work in the basement. And then I prep for the next couple of days.
Like, how many hours would you say that adds up to?
Too many. As a matter of fact, I think this is the first year where I'm actually going to take a break. Because while I've been doing this full time for 2 years now, a little over 2 years, I've not stopped working, doing this stuff for a little over 3 years. It's been every day I do something for the channel, whether that's editing, filming, reading. Like it's just something that I'm working on the channel. Even when I would get sick, I still do work for the channel because there is no taking time off, because this is how you make a living and there are no sick days. So this is the first time that I've decided, my wife decided that it would be good to take 2 weeks off and just enjoy life for a while, which I think everybody needs, and that is some wonderful advice, because there are some days that it varies, that it can be 9 hours at minimum, to some days that it's like 12 to 14 to 16 hours, and it's not always, on the edge. It's not always like working my fingers to the bone or anything like that, but it could be like taking time away from the family. Oh, I can't go with my friends to a cabin that we do every year because I gotta do some videos. I gotta make sure the channel has enough content. Saturdays, I like to hang with my wife and kids, so that's a little bit less. That's probably just a 3-hour workday, 4-hour workday. Yeah, and same as Sunday, so those days are a little easier, but it's an everyday thing.
What kind of things do you have to get done in order to be able to take a 2-week vacation?
Well, I think one of the things that I want to do is have enough videos while I'm gone, but realistically speaking, that's not possible because while I'm gone from 2 weeks, I'm not going to be creating content. So even when I come back, I do want to have enough videos so that I have enough for about a week of a buffer, and then I can kick off the next season or whatever we're going to call it. So that's just a matter of like filming, instead of like doing 2 videos a day, filming 3 videos a day. And then sometimes it's just, instead of filming 1 big video a day, it'll be filming 2 videos a day.
Do you typically have a few videos done in advance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like as we're filming this, I have 3 videos. No. I have breaking news too. 6 videos already in there, and that I can put out at any time. And then sometimes it's time, like if a book has to come out the following week, I have to get the video out first instead of like an overview of something that's already been out. So sometimes that happens, so I may have to move around the schedule, but I try to stay at least 2 days ahead of time. But then something will happen where my dad's like, hey, I need you to go to the doctor with your mom, life, and everybody has that. So it's just a matter of trying to play catch up later on, though, like shooting more videos than just 1 or 2 a day. But that's also the schedule that I've given me, right? myself, right? Like, I think everybody has their own schedule. Like there are YouTube channels that do 1 video a week, 1 video a month. And I think that's wonderful. But once you set that schedule, I think your audience expects things too. And I'm just an idiot, and I put myself on an everyday schedule because that's what type of person I am. Why did I do once a week, man? You should have stopped me.
I tried. Have you outsourced any of that? Like, do you have anybody else who works with you to put together a video?
So we have Taylor, who's been working on social media, which has been a blessing. Like, I don't answer anybody on social media anymore. And as much as I love replying to everybody, it just got to be a lot. And if I was doing that, then it would keep me away from doing something else. And my buddy Andrew, who's helping me from time to time, he's created segues and intros and outros and doing this type of video. And then I have a gentleman that approached me last year, Keenan, who's done the latest intros and the little caption boxes and stuff whenever I do breaking news. So he does help me with that. And I think that is the goal, is to get somebody to help me, even if it's once a week, since I put out so many videos. But the problem is, like, if I do that, hiring somebody, you know, how does it balance it out? Like, I'd have to pay somebody to do that. Mm-hmm. And I have to first figure out how much I can pay somebody. So that's so as of right now, no, it's just me rolling solo, doing videos every day, editing myself. But yeah, I would like to have somebody, and people have volunteered, and people in this community have been amazing. Like, people have volunteered, like, hey, if you need somebody designing T-shirts, for your spread shop, you need somebody helping you with intros and outros, and the handle social media. They approach me because I really suck at asking people for help. That is one of my it's definitely one of my weaknesses.
What do your parents think about this? Do they understand what it even means to be a content creator? And I'm especially curious, if they do, like, what do they think about it? What do they think about your job? Especially them being immigrant parents who typically, a lot of times, you know, they come over and pretty much sacrifice everything they can so that their children can have a better life and kind of achieve their dreams.
Dude, and those were my parents. Like, a lot of parents that came, you know, from other countries. My dad was a psychologist, and he worked for the government in Peru. And coming over here, he had to work at a nursing home because his degree didn't amount to anything here. So both my mom and dad, you know, had to do all this manual labor, and it's so hard at first. My mom kind of gets it. My mom understands YouTube. She didn't know people did it for a living. My dad, this is how much my dad supports it, though. Like, he doesn't understand it, but he'll watch a video and he understands how much the likes go. So he'll like a video, and he tells his family that are still in Peru to watch my stuff. That's so sweet, like, because he doesn't understand, you know, exactly what I do. Because it is difficult to talk about what you do for a living. Like, even to people that are, you know, native speakers in English, like, it's difficult to explain what you do. How many of our friends do I have to explain? Wait, you talk about comics for a living? How do you make money doing that? Because it is a type of job that was not around even 7-10 years ago. These kind of things weren't possible. It's just something now that's kind of opened up. And it's not just comics. Of course, there are people making livings talking about toys and video games and snowboarding, tires. I don't know why I went with tires. That sometimes the brain just shuts down. But yeah, my mom has an easier time understanding what I do, and she gets it. My dad just has probably no idea. He doesn't care, but he still loves me and supports me no matter what. So that's wonderful.
Now that you've been doing this 2 years in a row, has anything changed in that second year from that first year?
Yes. So the way that YouTube pays people has dramatically dropped. That's why you see a lot of content creators going the way of Patreon or promoting other ways that you can support them. Because YouTube, I believe it was in August, when they sent a mass email to everybody in the middle of the night. So you know it's never good whenever you get an email from corporate like, hey, we're changing things. All you got to do is sign. But they were changing the way that they went from like Google AdSense to YouTube money, or YouTube revenue, I believe is what it's called. And of course in there were certain changes, like how much less you'd be getting per video, and you did see a drop in that quite a bit. Like, some So I don't know about anybody else, but for me it was like 35% drop, and that's a lot. And you you aren't prepared for that, because you've been doing these videos. You know that at the end of the year the videos tend to pay more because ads pay more towards the end of the year of like October, November, December, but they were down 35% of the previous year. So you just, it's just one of those things. Do I sit here and complain about it, make a video like YouTube's robbing me blind, or do I just keep on trucking?
If you could go back 1 year or even 2 years, would you change anything? Would you even do this?
Oh, yes. Okay. I would still do this. This is the best damn thing I've ever done. Like, best job I've ever had. It's amazing, and it's a blessing, and it's still crazy to me that, I'm in this position that I am. Would I change anything? Maybe start asking for help sooner, instead of trying to figure out things by myself and stressing out, staying up all hours of the night trying to figure out, video color correction and sound, and actually reach out to people that might, or, on my Saturday streams, I think that's where most people saw that I was needing some help with some things, and it was really sweet. After that, I got a couple of emails, and since then, that people have been helping, so it's been great. So asking for help, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially from the community that you're building, because a lot of them do want to help. They're just waiting for some, to be asked.
Last year, in the middle of the year, you had a big move.
I did.
How did that affect your job?
Didn't stop. Kept making videos. So we moved, it was in March. We moved in March of 2022. It's been something that we've been planning to do for 7 years, right? Setting money aside, packed up a bunch of things 7 years ago, and just life kept happening. Switching jobs, lost my job. My wife changed careers. She went back to her previous career. But we finally did it this March. They always say that, like, it's one of the most stressful things that can happen in your life is a move. And it is true. And trying to do this full time and make it seem like everything is fine. So at my old house, the last things to leave at the old house were the 2 bookshelves behind me, and this stupid table, and the camera, and 2 of the lights. No, I only had 1 light at the time, and I had one of those reflectors. Because, again, it's one of those things, like, nobody needs to know I'm moving. That's something personal. So I'm just going to pretend like we're still making videos here, even though my wife's texting or calling, "Where are you? The truck's coming." And I'm like, "I'm coming." Oh, man, it was so stressful. Now, I did make a video because it was her idea. "Why don't you make a video on, like, how to pack these books?" So, and then she said, "Why don't you make a video on how many freaking trucks?" It's 2 trucks of my... No, I don't only do collected editions. Like, I've been a collector of different things throughout the year. So I have, like, video games and toys and movies, physical media that took up 2 trucks along with all the manga and books and bookshelves. It was insane. So I did do a video on that to show a little bit of, like, how to pack it, because I give some tips on, like, make sure those books are stacked up to the top. Dude, it was stressful. Not as stressful as the manga thing, but it was really stressful. Like, trying to pretend like nothing's happening in the background. Meanwhile, we're trying to, move our lives around, to move homes, and I don't know how the heck I did it. I didn't sleep that much during that time. That's for sure.
If Near Mint Condition were given a blank check right now,
what? No, that is a question. What?
What are the first 3 things you would do?
Hire a team. Because I don't want to do this by myself. I like working with people. Oh my gosh, absolutely hire a team. I didn't even think about the other things. What, I guess, upgrade my laptop? That would be nice. Wait, if I'm hiring a team, I don't need to edit. I just need to yell at people. "Man, you better get that done. Let's do this Tuesday." Nah, I won't do that. Because I'd still like to do... I actually enjoy editing. It's just time consuming, right? Yeah, so probably something like that. Maybe get some lights from the ceiling. I don't know. What do most people say? A blank check. Why did I put lights? Why don't you just move to another house? What the hell's wrong with me? I should have said that. Go move to a studio. hire some people to move all this stuff, put me in a big studio, have a sound. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yep.
I don't know why I was hire people. I think that would be good. Like hire some people that can help. That would be awesome. I would like to go out and visit locations, on location kind of shoots, because I really enjoyed doing the comic book tours of all these comic book stores, like wherever we went, my family and I. But we really don't travel that much, and where I have the Saturday stream kind of limits what times we can go together as a family. But I would love to do that. I'd love to visit Marvel, and DC, all these places. I actually would love to visit printers that make the books. Not that we have that many here in America, but we still do. But yeah, I would love to go to more conventions. That would be awesome.
2021 was your first full year doing this.
Yeah.
That was still kind of in the height of COVID. 2022, a little bit different.
Yeah.
We still had a lot of COVID, but a lot of people kind of went back to their normal jobs, for better or for worse. Do you think that affected the channel in any way?
I think it did. And I noticed it more the summer of 2021 more than anything. I'm sorry, summer of 2022 more than anything. Because that's when things really opened up. The United States opened up a lot sooner than some other countries, but people still wanted to visit those countries. So in the summer of 2022 is when said countries started opening up. So people not only traveled across different states here, but they also traveled across the world to go and cash in those tickets that they bought 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So I did see a decline in subscribers. I saw a decline in views. My Saturday streams weren't as packed as they used to be. But it was, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, of course, you see things like that and you start not to lose faith, but it's a little bit disheartening. But again, my mentality is like, well, I'll keep doing it and see what happens. And I did, and now it's kind of back up a little bit. I think things kind of shot up, and it's probably because people are back home. And one of the biggest questions I had was during 2020 was, you're getting a lot of views now, and what's going to happen when people are open to going back to work and going back out to, to the mall. They still have malls, amusement parks, whatever it is. That takes their money instead of this, because a lot of people got into the hobby of collected editions during the pandemic because they were stuck at home, and they were like, well, I need something. So they watched a lot of YouTube. They watched channels like this, not just mine, right, that were introducing them to the world of collected editions of comics that they grew up with, and they wanted to relive that. And the question I got was, what's going to happen when things go back to what normal was or is? And I honestly, my answer was this. So this was in 2020 when I was asked that, and I think I was asked on a Saturday stream. And my answer was, I'm sure a lot of people will still stick with the hobby, even if not everybody stays with it. And I understand, a lot of people will stick with it, and there will always be new people that get into the hobby, no matter what hobby it is, whether it's collecting toys, video games, role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games, or statues in comics. I think there will always be new people to the hobby. So it's nice to have a channel with a backlog of all these introductory type of videos to this format.
Do you feel like you always need to be on, and how does that affect your personal life when you're not on camera?
My wife jokes that she's like, if you say hit that like button one more time when we're out shopping, because I'm joking around with her. I don't know. I think that's a good question, but that's honestly a question that I don't know if I can answer. That's more of a question that I think my friends and my wife could answer easier than me, because I think that I am the way that I am no matter who I'm around. That's the way I joke around. Like, I will say though, I do have a bit of a potty mouth, so that side of me I don't show on screen, because I have a lot of kids that watch my stuff. I have a lot of families that watch with their kids, and that stopped 2 years ago, I think, when somebody's like, hey Omar, I love your stuff, but my kid watches it with me, and I'm like, done. Because I get it, I respect that. I got kids too, and but as far as me, I don't know. I don't think I have an on and off switch. I'm always on like this, I think, right? I don't know. What do you think? You're
I concur.
okay. I think it's a better question for people like you, like for people that are around me at all times. And I do have a potty mouth. You probably know that.
I also concur.
Okay, yeah. Now that is on our Patreon on the Ask Me Anything. I just let loose. That is nice. Like I can just not just be myself, but actually say the words I want to say. So that's why I actually added that tier on Patreon.
How do you pick what kind of topic and what kind of video you're going to do? Like, and are there ever ones that you just start working on and then scrap?
So I think it's just become a thing, right? It's become a not well-oiled machine. a machine though, nonetheless, because there are videos that I do every week that are ones that my viewers expect me to do, like upcoming collected editions. I do that once a month. My top 10 of said month that I suggest to people buying or reading at least. The weekly overviews of omnibus editions. Whatever books are coming out that week, I like to do the overview that week. Breaking news. And I try to put in videos that I enjoy too, that I would love to see. Like that's where I started doing the top 5 hidden gems. Like that video came about because I didn't have a video to shoot back when I was living the crazy life of shooting video, editing video, and releasing video all on the same day. Now I actually plan ahead, but that video came about going, I'm out of books to talk about. So I went to my shelf and I said, hey, nobody's talking about this book. Here, let's grab this one. And then I grabbed another one and it became 5. And I'm like, these are 5 books I'm going to talk about that nobody really talks about. So that's kind of how that segment got started. Other segments get started because my viewers want to see it. For years, people have asked me, since 2019, to do a video series on where to start reading characters like Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and so many characters. And I kind of but just didn't want to because my mentality is from the 80s mentality of every comic is somebody's first comic. So my first DC comic was a huge event, issue number 8. So I think anybody can go and pick up a single issue and pick up the previous issues and the future issues if they want to continue it. But they reminded me that now we live in an era of collected editions where books are collected, single issues are collected in one story arc. So it's not so much like, hey, pick this random issue, but this is a really good story arc for this particular character. So I took it that way, give it a little spin, and that's the way I've been doing it. They've also asked me to do like the best, like my favorite top 15 favorite Batman stories or Spider-Man stories in collected edition. So a lot of the ideas honestly came from my viewers. Like the people, anybody that has a YouTube channel and a growing community, that's where you get your best ideas from. The best performing videos that I've ever done on my channel, outside of Berserk, because that's just something that's near and dear to me that I was going to do regardless. And so it's really nice of Dark Horse to reach out to me. But some of the best performing videos were the ones that one of my viewers randomly left a comment, hey, nobody's done this. Can you do this, do you think? I like the way that you break down a book, like the way that you do overviews. So you think you can do this particular book or compare it to this box set? And I was like, sure. And listening to your viewers, that will go a long way. So now I've got like my whole month's planned out. Like I've got hidden gems, like reading orders. And reading orders honestly came from just videos I wanted to watch too. That's another one. Like I wish that somebody was making that kind of videos when I was first getting into trade paperbacks and then eventually hardcovers and oversized hardcovers and omnis, because there wasn't a database out there. And I started making my own database in my head. That's something I wish I could do. Travel back in time and tell myself to write things down. Because eventually we're going to.
Of the videos that you come up with, how many of them are influenced by performance from similar videos that you've done?
Honestly, I would say about 50-50. You keep an eye on the algorithm and you see what works, what gets people's engagement. But every book is different, right? Just because one particular omnibus does well doesn't mean the other one's going to do that well, even though it's the same publisher, could be the same artist, could be the same writer. There's just certain characters that no matter what will always perform better than other characters. Sorry, Super Pro, you ain't getting no love. But there are videos, I'll be honest, that I do, not based on performance, because they are low performing videos, but you get to the point where you have to balance that out. You have to balance that particular part of your channel. And it's videos that my viewers that have been with me for a long time have been watching for well over 3 years. And if I drop it because they're not performing well, what the hell does that say about me and my connection to them? Because yes, they don't perform as well. I'm not gonna say which ones, but there's a certain percentage of viewers of mine that love those videos, that can't afford the bigger books. So having, you know, that type of video out there could hurt your YouTube algorithm. But you know what? So can live streams. Live streams always hurt YouTube algorithms. But I feel like that's a connection that I have with my audience every Saturday. I love doing that. I love talking to them, even though YouTube and everybody making YouTube videos, that's why the big channels don't like live videos, will tell you not to do them, to start a separate channel to do them, because they will destroy your algorithm. And then sometimes you just gotta say to yourself, man, screw it, screw the algorithm. You know, I need, because I need that Saturday live stream as much as my audience does, because I don't, you know, outside of certain few people, I don't really talk to anybody throughout the week. So it's nice to be able to connect to my viewers that watch my videos and what kind of questions they have. Now, I can't get to every single one of them, but I try to get through as many as I can.
What are you grateful for?
Oh my God, dude, everything. Like, I am so grateful for being able to do this for a living. So my viewers that help get me here, the publishers that reached out to me, because I'm like everybody else, like, you know, doing this. Like, I started this with my friends. So yeah, of course I'm very grateful for my friends when we all started this. By the way, go check out Near Mint Collective. We're still hanging out there. But whenever we started doing this, you know, it was just for fun. And I think that's the way it was. And that was the mentality I had for a long time. And I never thought this would ever be a full-time job. I think, you know, everybody daydreams about it. Everybody wants to do it. And it takes a lot of work to do it. And still. And you don't you don't let them catch you sleeping, is what I'm saying. Like, you keep a product that people will keep coming back to. And, you know, you set the bar this high, and you never want to be down here, you know, because people find it easy. You get into a comfort zone of like, oh, I'm just going to put out said video. I don't feel like reading this week, man. I'm just going to put out a video on this book. Here we go. This big book. Here's cover. Here's dust shot. You know, I could see myself, I don't know. I'm not like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you start doing that, people will take notice. And I respect my viewers and people that have been following me a lot more than that. Because if I do that, then that speaks highly of me, of like what I'm about, and taking people for granted. And I don't ever want to do that. So I'm very grateful for the community that we've built, and people on Patreon, the publishers, the creators that have reached out to me, you know, trying to, now they look at me as somebody that can help them get their book published or crowdfunded. And it is a blessing and amazing, because these silly funny books, man, have just given me a life that I didn't think I could have. It's insane to take a step back, you know, and look at your life and look at what you're doing for a living, despite all the stress and heartbreak and heartache sometimes, and the sleepless nights. It's worth it, dude. It's wonderful. So I'm grateful for everything. Like, none of this could be possible without viewers, and so I guess I'm grateful for them the most. I guess my family for putting up with me, my friends for helping me get here. Absolutely, yeah. Who am I forgetting? Mom? What is the dad? Like, what is the Oscar speech? You gotta start cutting me off, man. You gotta play the song. Thank you all. Seriously, I think I said that a little bit earlier, but just to get the point across, thank you all so much for watching the videos, for liking the videos, for sharing the videos, for commenting on the videos. And if you have more questions, leave your comments down below. That way we can do a year 3, Batman year 3, baby, or Nightwing year 1, or Dick Grayson year 1, really. Anyway, my point is thank you all so much. Thank you to our patrons. Thank you to everyone that suggested different type of videos. And if you still have those suggestions, please let me know. And thank you to the publishers that reached out. Thank you to Andrew and all my friends that kicked off Near Mint Condition with me years ago. And now they can be found in Near Mint Collective. Thank you to my wife and kids, my parents, everyone. I do feel like this is an Oscar speech. That's all I got. Much love.
All right, Omar.
Don't make me cry this time, please. Oh gosh, that was rough. All right, I don't social media. I don't watch other people's YouTube's channel. My God, I feel old. YouTube's channel.
You're making videos, especially every day. Right? You're putting out videos all the time.
I gotta go right now, Andrew. I gotta edit.
Yeah.
I don't even have a watch. I gotta edit. What was the question? That was good.